Hello everyone, I'm Charlie Tolhurst and welcome to the Motormaina Podcast for today, the 2nd of October 2024. Yes, we're in October now, would you believe it? This is coming towards the end of a huge automotive year. This is a podcast all about motoring, guys, and yes, plenty of news to talk about. It's going to be a busy, quite a quick show today, but we've got lots to talk about. There's going to be another one being filmed later in the week as well. We also had as well the latest news from the world of motorsport. We've got British touring car finale weekend at Brands Hatch this weekend as well, where Tom Ingram and Jake Hill will battle it out for the championship on the Grand Prix circuit. Ash Sutton is also in the mix as well for the title in that one. In the Formula One, meanwhile, though, Daniel Ricciardo will be dropped. Daniel Ricciardo has left Formula One. He's been dropped by RB after the Singapore Grand Prix, which of course was won by Lando Norris. Max Verstappen was second. Oscar Piastri finishing third after starting fifth on the grid in that race there in the F1. As well, Piastri was third after having a difficult qualifying. George Russell held off Charles Leclerc to win. To take fourth place, should I say, in that race. As well, Leclerc on fresher tyres. Lewis Hamilton was sixth after Mercedes messed his strategy up. Carlos Sainz seventh. Fernando Alonso held off a fleet of drivers to get eighth for Aston Martin. Nico Hülkenberg getting a couple of points there for Haas in ninth, and Sergio Perez completing the points despite having a very difficult qualifying session down in 13th. And Franco Colapinto, very unlucky in that race as well to get a point. But still a great drive for Colapinto. Obviously, Alex Albon was one of the only retirements. Ken Magnussen also a puncture. And now we have a few weeks to go until the next race. Couple of weeks now until we're racing again. It's a weird season this. We've got two big breaks in it, which is a bit weird. The next race is on, I think, the 20th of October. So not long now, about a couple of weeks. We are racing in Austin, Texas. It's the United States Grand Prix, and about 6 races to go until the end of the season. All or nothing between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris for the championship crown. Indeed. Now, in terms of car news, let's come on to this now. We've got some important news, car-wise, that we're going to go over right now and talk to you about this week. Let's go over some of the news that we've found already. Now, this car might surprise you. Watch out, Vauxhall and Citroën, because a value brand called Leapmotor not aiming to steal Vauxhall and Citroën sales. Now, the Stellantis-backed Chinese firm is set to compete with its sibling brands after a range of affordable EVs have been released. Now, this is the new T03 is Leapmotor's £16,000 rival to the Dacia Spring. I know you said Dacia there for a second. Dacia Spring or Dacia Spring, whatever they call it. In terms of this, we consider Leapmotor to be complementary to 14 brands in the family. One of the CEOs said, Leapmotor is pure EV brand and hailing from China. Number 2, it's complementary of what the Stellantis group in terms of technology has made. The company Stellantis has invested 1.5 billion looks like 1.5 billion yen or 1.2 billion pounds into Leapmotor's international firm. Is the joint formerly with nascent Chinese EV maker Leapmotor, and is now leveraging into its fast global operations to launch the brand across Europe, Oceania, Southeast Asia, even South America as well, India as well. Yes. It also features a car. It's going to be called an ERV version of the C10. Is already in South China. 1.5 litre petrol engine shared with 739-mile range on the Chinese test cycle. That's a huge range for a car of this size. I mean, 739 miles just from a 1.5 litre engine is massive. According to customers, it may have a 620 mile. But the range on these cars, man, that's a massive amount of range for an EV. I'm not an EV fan, but I mean, that's massive. So, as well. In terms of more news, as well, we're going to have an E408 for Peugeot's going to arrive as Polestar 2 rival with 281 miles of range. In terms of more other news, though, Well, Skoda have extended combustion car lifespans in the EV slowdown. Now, the electric Octavia is pushed back up another 2 years as the brand will continue to focus on um, crossovers. That includes the next 2 years. It includes the new Elerock and Epic crossovers, production of Vision 75 and the 4.7-meter long estates and faces of the ENIAC and ENIAC Coupe. However, it's delayed estate all but inherit the Octavia name from late 2027 or 2028 as well. So it's going to be key. Yes, Skoda are continuing petrol or combustion versions. I'm happy with that. I think that would be a good move from the company. Definitely as well, which will seem very interesting as well. In terms of some more news, really, most of it is electric cars as well. As I said, Renault have also announced as well the reborn of the Renault 4, a car that was produced many years ago. If you know what I mean, the Renault 4 was a car that was launched years ago. It used to be called the Renault 4 CV at one point. Yes. Yes, this car was essentially a Motormaina built in France. Had a very similar body to a Miner back in the day. This car, 1961 it was launched. It includes a roof-mounted mini spoiler, trapezoidal quarter rear windows, vertical over riders on the bumper, and 3 lines sculpted along the door. The Renault 4 is also positioned as a taller, wider, attractive to the 5 in hopes of capturing its market. It's also a similar size to the Vauxhall Mokka at 4.14 meters long. This is going to be very interesting, this car. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like. So that's certainly an interesting situation there as well. In 2025 as well, China's BYD will plan to become a European manufacturer. It comes auto car impacts tariffs are temporary as well on that one. So that's certainly going to be some interesting news for sure as well. In terms of car news, that's really the main part of car news completed. So yes, all I can say on that one is the car news sector is certainly going to be very quiet. Now, this next part of the podcast is going to be a short episode this week because there's not really much to talk about. However, though, I'm going to be talking about a couple of upcoming videos on the channel, on Motormania itself, that you'll be expecting over the next weeks or so. There are videos being lined up as we speak. I'm going to be planning the videos out and I'll be recording them on here as well. And they'll be uploaded onto my YouTube channel on the Motormania section. So what we're going to be talking about, well, I'm going to be doing a couple of videos. One of the videos is going to be talking about the smallest 4-seater production car, the Toyota IQ. I'm going to be talking about why the IQ is one of the most important city cars in the class. I'm going to be talking about what makes this city car so unique from other 4-door cars of its type, the other 4-seater production cars. This is the smallest one. I'm going to be talking about what makes the Toyota IQ really unique. This is a car certainly that is one of the most unique cars. It also used to be called the Aston Martin Signet as well. That had a name badged on it at one point, I think. So certainly an interesting discussion on that one that I'm going to be talking about as well. We're also going to be talking a lot about other things as well. Motorsport is going to get a mention as well. I'm going to be talking a bit about Formula One actually, and talking in particular about McLaren as well. I'm going to be talking about McLaren in terms of yes, in general, talking about the McLaren Drivers Academy as well. Woking, the McLaren Technology Centre, the Drivers Academy, all of that coming up on the channel. So there's plenty of videos coming up. Today, though, I thought I'd just quickly come on here and talk to you. Obviously, last time I spoke about the Volkswagen Polo being retired, unfortunately, after a long time in production. What I do want to talk about quickly today is something very important. And I want to highlight this to anyone who's out there who might be struggling with cars and something like that. I want to say this, okay. Now, as the autumn and winter approaches, a lot of people kind of get not sure what tyres to put on their car. So, a company that I'm really going to recommend today on this podcast is a company called Continental. Now, Continental are very, very important in the world of tyres. In terms of this, they were founded in 1871 in Germany, and when it comes to tyres, they are the world's leading manufacturer of passenger and light truck tyres in Europe. They're also the world's largest passenger tyre manufacturers plant. In terms of this, yes, the brand itself is actually very, very well known. I will be doing a video on tyres on my channel and talking to you about different types of tyres. It's also known as Conti. They're a German brand. They specialise in tyres for automobiles, motorcycles, and also as well classic chassis components as well. Continental is structured into 6 divisions: chassis, safety, powertrain as well. When it comes to their tyres, though, they are very important because these tyres have different types of technology. Comes to grip, overall stiffness as well, and also in general electrical systems as well. There'll be a whole video on this. Now, in terms of tyres, Continental offer a variety of different tyres for car and vans. The tyres in general, which are really important this time of the year, are what is known as the winter tyres. The Continental winter tyres. Now, these tyres in particular are very, very important in the winter time of the year, because what they benefit is huge. They benefit from excellent traction and short braking distances on winter roads and surface. They also rely on a high level protection against aquaplaning. You can see here in a clear insight into this image about just how important the winter tyres are. Notice as well the thicker grooving inside the tyre. The actual tyre tread is a lot thicker grooved than traditional tyres you'd see. The reason that they are thicker grooved is to allow them to clear much more effectively in cooler conditions. For example, the Conti Cross Contact Winter Factory Fit is also available at these brands such as Audi, Fiat, Land Rover, Mercedes, and VW. Cars can also fit these tyres, and they come from 15 inches to 22 inches. So plenty of tyres there as well. That is all I'm going to say, guys, on the end of this show. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and good night.